Can you go with this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So, doing portrait. So doing portraits is like the most toughest thing in art, because there's so much of features to focus on the head. There's so much of details on the face. If you compare to human body, like the face has the more weightage actually. So if you want to become an artist, or if you want to get into animation industry to become a character designer or a visual development artist or concept artist, so these skills are really, really important. Drawing human face, human figure, and all. It's really important. So in order to draw them really well, you have to practice portrait so much. It's not just about you're just copying whatever you see here. Okay, there's a glass. Okay, just copying the outline. This is how people draw, right? Like those lines, they draw, they try to copy, right? This is how people draw. This is not going to take you anywhere. This is mostly for yeah. So it's mostly for the person who wants to how do I say, just for a hobby. If you're drawing, that's okay because it'll give some relaxation, give some give some good feeling, good factor to draw something. But if you want to get into industry and if you want to design your own characters, so you should learn really, really deep into it. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to show you guys. So before even drawing all these things, you should have a basic sense of anatomy. A human skull, how does it look? You should have a fair idea about it. That'll be much easier. But we don't have much time to go really deep into it in the demo class. Probably in the future we'll arrange more classes to cover up those points. So right now I'll just gonna show you how do I approach this with some constructions. So always before you start with some warm up actually. Start drawing more circles, more lines. So to make your hands more stronger and more loose and to draw well. Because most of the time our hands will be really, really stiff. Just to make it more flexible. Yeah, draw more like this. Yeah, so this will give you a hand it kind of relieves your hand with being too tight actually. Yeah. So like this, yeah, you just practice the whole page. You do something like this. Yeah. And then you can start. So our human head, the skull, what you have, is more or less like a circle shape actually. Yeah. Right? A circle shape and then a face attached to it. That's like in the shape of the cranium, attached to it. Same thing if you see from the front view also. It's pretty much, same. If you wanted to draw your face looking upward, still a circle shape. So it's so important, draw circles as much as possible because most of the, designs start with very simple shapes. Whether it's a portrait or designing any other characters, humans, it starts from basic primitives like circle, square, cube, those sort of stuff actually. So I start with a simple sphere. So next thing what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the center line of the face. Yeah. So center of his forehead and the nose is center of your lip. So with that line comes, right? So that one I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to draw the line where your eyebrow is. Probably I'll show you. So feel free to ask me any questions during the session. So if you need to show here. This is the shape of the skull. As I told you, the center line of the face comes like this. The line, horizontal line, should come on the eyebrow. Just one more circle. We draw here because side view, side of your skull is not round, it's slightly flatter. So this is a basic plane change of a face actually. Yeah, so that's how any construction should be done. If you're able to do this basic construction, it's easy to draw any face we're just put into these constructions only. This is a side plane. That's a jawline. Okay. So you got a basic construction of a face. So now I need to get into a next level. So you can see there is a slight bone definition there, cheekbone definition. That's called zygomatic bone. Always you should see your eyes more like an eye socket actually. Like how your skull is. Skull will be more like this, right? So that's how the skull is, right? So you should be able to feel the skull inside. Yeah, you should. It's just important to study the anatomy really deep to get an understanding. So what I'm trying to do is right now, I'm trying to draw a line to figure out where is the eye line, which is this, where the eye is sitting. As eyebrow, eye, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to draw that so that my eye sits there. And I do a slight cheekbone definition. And then you try to figure out how to draw the nose. I'm trying to draw the face more like a very simple boxes. For example, if you see, the nose is more like a box. I'm trying to design the face more like a simple boxes actually. See? So I'm trying to draw a rough box for the nose. Bottom plane of the nose. Yeah. So that's roughly the place where the lip is going to come. Just like marking everything. See, before even doing any detailing, I'm trying to make sure the proportions are proper. You know, the proportions are correct or not. That's the first thing you need to check. And then you just add like the secondary details like adding mustache, eye details, and whatever stuff. Get this construction done. Then it's easy to like draw on top of it. Because many people, what do? They directly jump onto adding details. They start drawing, eyes, nose, mouth, and all. And then if you see the overall, they miss the proportions actually. So yeah, so just keep that like in your mind. To get the construction first is most important. If the construction is proper, almost 40% of work is done actually. Yeah. So let me go to the next level quickly. So now I'll just quickly going to get into placing other stuff. If you see the goggle is more of an oval shape. And this is the connection for the goggle. And you can see the thickness of the goggle. So initially keep your sketch like very, very rough. It doesn't need to be like more refined, can be like a really hot sketch. But make sure the proportions are correct. Meeting video. Sorry, guys. Okay. To draw the rough shape of the goggle, and then I'm trying to roughly sketch the helmet, the leather helmet. So you should be able to feel there should be like a gap between your skull and then the helmet, right? Because the helmet has some sort of thickness to it. Yeah. Also, the feel of that like the helmet is being pressed actually, right? By the belt. That feel they have to bring. Now slowly I went to the face. So what I'm trying to do, like whatever like sharp angle change I used to draw, I'm trying to make them more softer actually, right? Let's keep the session more interactive. How many of you guys done portrait before?
I have done, but that's many years ago.
Okay. How many portraits you done in your life?
Many of them, like I didn't remember those.
Okay. So what do you follow any technique, or you just draw?
I used to follow some techniques, but those are not professional like those which you were showing.
What technique?
Uh, portrait. Like you just show me the circle and those plus. I used to do that only, but not like those the nose you have done and the eyes.
Got it. Yeah, so that's called like Andrew Loomis technique actually. So Andrew Loomis is the artist, like he came up with some sort of a construction for human face. Till now, like many people follow just that technique actually. Andrew Loomis method, they call it. And again, I just touched a bit of it. There's a lot of things you have to prepare before you start drawing. But that's a good technique.
Sir, do we have to learn the 2D process fully and then we will shift to 3D?
It's up to you. If you learn 2D, it will much faster to do in 3D. Yeah, because whatever you're doing here, the shapes and forms, same thing you're gonna do it in 3D also. There are some people they can't draw well, but actually they do good stuff in 3D. Yeah. So just because just the tool going to change when you go to software, but the eyes shapes, eye structure, the way the wrinkles are formed, the construction, everything will be pretty much the same. So if you can achieve this much faster in 3D.
Okay, I got your point.
Yeah, it's not that it's a compulsion to know that, because I've seen many 3D artists who does great stuff.
The techniques are same in also the 3D modeling.
Yeah. It's more like you see the difference between sculpting and painting, right? Someone sculpting, doing a sculpture, someone doing in a painting, it's just pretty much the same thing, same fundamentals.
Yes.
But in sculpting, you make it more like in a 3D. In painting, yeah, so they deal with more with colors, and sort of stuff actually. Because even now, everything become digital. So whatever work we do in animation production, we start with the basic sketch only. They'll provide us a basic sketch. Based on the sketch only, we start doing 3D models. They provide the sketch, the front and side. They're showing the person might look like this, look like that. So based on that, we used to do. There's a more value if you know 2D in the industry. Right now, there's so much of demand for a good artist. So I'm trying to keep it more rough and then loose, because anytime I might change proportions as I go forward actually. because I mean, I'm not quite sure is it 100% correct or not. So I'm trying to like keep solving the problem every stage. First I do the construction, then I do the basic sketching, then I do the like the basic lighting and stuff. So like every stage I'll keep refining the sketch to get like an exact likeness of the person. Yeah. So I don't really care about like having a really clean line for the sketch. All I see is, am I observing things correctly? It's all about observation, like what do you see in the drawing? How do you draw here? It's all about that. Yeah. So once the basic sketch is done, I remove the construction. Now we can see the sketch, right? But that's the process. You have like basic construction. That's really, and then see the second level construction. It has structure for the nose and stuff. And then I'm doing the detail on top of it, right? So now what I do is probably hide the construction. I don't want to leave them. I roughly mark the light and shadows. Wherever you have light and shadow, right? Those areas. If you see, this is a shadow, shadow, shadow. So all those things we have to mark out right now.
Nice.
It's a shadow here. Some shadow here. Bottom plane of the nose. Some sort of shadow. From the nose, some shadow is falling down. Yeah, I should learn a little bit about, not a little bit, in depth about light and shadows to understand how the light falls, how the shadows forms. All those things you have to understand. Yeah, a bit of shade of mustache falling on the face. Bottom of cigarette, the same shadow. Yeah. You can see that zygomatic bone area, there are some shadows. Under the neck, there are some shadows, right? So now what I do, I'll try to fill with an even tone. Right now it's time to start doing shading. That's very good, the actual 3D feel to it. Probably I'll take a soft pastel. Yeah, that's good. So I'm drawing from my iPad. Yeah, it's pretty much like how the traditional medium is. Like how do you use pastels? So it's pretty much like in the same way, right? So overall, I filled with a medium tone. A lot of tones you should keep in your mind. Different level of values will be there.
Sir, what is that application that you're using, sir?
Sorry?
What is which application you are using for?
I'm using Procreate in iPad.
Sorry, sir, I can get you.
I'm using Procreate, Procreate, Create.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, so I use an iPad, and iPad I use this. You can do same thing in Photoshop also.
Okay,
So
sir.
I have a doubt.
Okay.
So is it really necessary for all the students to have an iPad, or we
No,
can use traditional methodology to practice?
that's a very good question actually. Yeah, these are expensive devices. I see people after seeing this, okay, my teacher uses iPad, I also want iPad, then go in trouble with parents because these are really expensive devices. You don't have to invest so much in the very beginning. You can start with the traditional medium pencil, paper, and all, because you're doing the same thing there. And even tomorrow, if you get a job and go to industry, so there also they won't provide iPad. So they'll provide you a vacuum tablet. So that's where you're gonna work on it. So don't go with very expensive gadgets in the beginning. So try to practice as much as possible with traditional medium. And you really feel that, okay, you need when you really feel that, okay, I have maybe after working 2-3 years, okay, enough of money for myself, let me go and invest in it. Yeah, go for it, but don't spend too much money in the beginning. Yeah. So every device does a decent job actually.
So which is better according to you, like traditional one or what devices we use?
I would recommend start with the traditional mediums first.
Right.
Yeah, traditional mediums are really good. So digital medium, what advantages? It helps you to do things for faster actually. There's no other advantage. It make you more efficient. But the feel of doing traditional, that's really great. So digital devices, can't come close to it. The feel is so good. But this one, it helps you do things much faster. For example, what I'm doing right now, to reach this level in traditional medium, it might take more time. It might take 4 hours to get a proper sketching done, and then because here I have layers, I quickly jump between layers, ledges stuff. So there, it's not that easy. Yeah. So have put some values. So always you have some value grid. Values means how the intensity of the shadow. If you can see, it's gradually increasing. It's like if you're doing a pencil, how hard you press on your paper. It gives more dark. Yeah. If you use just an HP pencil, it might tear your paper. it might not give you the darkness what you need. There are certain pencils recommended for artists actually. So buy those pencils. The pencils 6B, 8B, 4B, 2B, just B. So B, mostly they have this much of shadows. 2B slightly darker, 4B slightly darker, 6B more darker, 8B might be really dark. It's like that you can use different pencils for different shading level. Yeah. So now what I'm trying to do is, if I see the hat has more values, I'm trying to see it somewhere in this side actually. I'm trying to get that much of shadow. I'm increasing. At this point, I don't care too much about how good your drawings supposed to look like. I'm trying to see, because it's more of, you think more like in a practice. You're trying to understand light and shadow. Every sketch when you do, that's how you should think. Like what I'm trying to learn from here. I'm able to understand the material property of a leather, the metal property of a goggle, the metal property of the face. Just think in that perspective. Think purely in a learning perspective as a students. So overall, I'm trying to add more shadows. Right. So already you can start feeling some depth the moment we start doing the shadows. Yeah, there's a lot of shadow like falling from his face, this neck region, creating a lot of shadow there. Yeah. Okay, so a second layer of shadows been added. I'll be keep adding more shadows, and then I might go for more micro details. So details always should be in the last. Yeah, I'll give for more darker values. So which one is more dark value in this picture? Anybody any guess? Which is more darkest value here? Darkest value in the sense, which one looks really dark here? Almost like a black.
8B.
Sorry?
Are you talking about the shades or the colors?
Shades, yeah, which is darkest shade here.
8B maybe.
Sorry?
8B? The pencil shades, right?
No, I'm sorry, I should have been more clear. In the picture, the reference image.
No guess.
Anybody else?
Those eye spots maybe?
Okay.
Shadow under nose.
Okay. Yeah, shadow under the nose looks like really darker. Goggles? Goggles does look darker. The goggle frames,
Yes.
right? Goggle frames, right?
And the shadow under his beard.
Yeah, shadow under this mustache, beard. Those all looks really dark. When you make them more darker, automatically the face will pops out. Yeah. So I'm trying to add more values to those.
So other than portrait, what amount do we have in our course?
Okay, so we have a course like an art fundamental course. That's most important before you get into the animation industry. Whether you want to become a concept artist or character designer, any role you take, but the fundamentals are must actually. So that's what we thought. Rather than going some advanced courses, we have to start with very basic courses first to make your fundamentals more stronger, and then you can jump onto more advanced courses. So that way, so we teach head construction, human anatomy, animal anatomy, and then how to draw drapery, costumes, clothes, how to draw clothes, how do they behave, what kind of materials are there in the costume, costumes. So environment, yeah, how to draw an environment, drawing buildings, landscape, how to draw all those things. Yeah, to become a complete artist, as an artist, you should be able to draw everything. That's what I always tell my students. Yeah, I should be able to draw everything. Yeah. So yeah, we teach. If you go to environment, stuff, There you need to do a lot of perspective you need to learn. So that we used to teach. And then once you master the fundamentals, probably you can take an advanced course on illustrations, like how to do book illustrations, children's book illustrations, those sort of stuff. We will teach. Apart from this 2D, we have 3D classes. We have 3D modeling, character modeling. We have animation. In the modeling, yeah, almost everything, character modeling, environment modeling. The texturing also we used to teach. And we teach animation. So mentors are all from industry. What I mean is they work in industry for quite some time. Yeah, because I was in industry for almost 20 years. So I thought what all we learned in the industry, it has to be given to the next generation artists. So what all we learned after 10, 15 years, because able to learn those things from your beginning of your career, it'll be really helpful for you guys. When you guys come to our age, you'll be in a different level actually. Right now, India need a lot of great artists. A lot of work coming into India. A lot of projects are coming. There's a lot of demand for artists in India. So main question is, are we ready for that? It doesn't mean a lot of people we need the randomly hired people. They really look for artistic skills. See, we cannot see properly this guy's iris or pupil. Just because the lighting is so harsh, you cannot see that properly. So I'm just filling the entire with most of shadows. A bit of eye bag. And you can see I'm trying to show some thickness to the eyelid.
So you are basically from traditional backgrounds.
Yes. I'm from traditional background. I did my graduation in Chennai College of Arts. Yeah, so I born an artist father. I used to draw as long as I remember. So honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to be when I started, drawing. All I wanted to know is wanted to become an artist. So I went to Chennai. I took, painting is my major. So I learned how to do oil paintings, watercolor, pencil, portrait, charcoal, portrait, drawing a full figure, still lifes. Almost 4 years course, we learned a lot of things. Along with this painting, we used to learn sculpting also. We have the orientation. So we get chance to go to different departments and learn other techniques. Clay modeling, we have learned there. Textile designing, printmaking, ceramic design. Yeah, artistic industry is like an ocean actually. There are so many things to learn, there's so many things to do. But the main things many people doesn't know what is there in the industry. Even born to an artist father, I myself doesn't know there's a college in Chennai. So somehow came to know from some of my friends, and then I moved to Chennai. So I went for coaching before taking the entrance exam. Yes, there's entrance exam. You have to pass the exam. It's really difficult to get the seat also. When I joined, almost 700 candidates apply for the course. So they select only 70 students per year. There's a tough competition. The entrance exam, you have to do like portrait, watercolor, letter writing, a lot of things you have to do. And finally, I got a chance to get to the college and learn a lot of things. I got great teachers to learn stuff from there. And you can see I'm trying some different style here right now. I'm trying to do a lot of cross hatching. So that's giving more nice feel to it, more hatching. More hatching according to the surface of the face.
So since you are from traditional background, so what made you to go to 3D?
That's a very good question, actually. Yeah. So when I finished, as I told you, I have no idea what to become, all I want to become an artist. So there's nothing much at that point of time, 20 years back, as an artist. It's mostly, painting banners for movies. Now it's all gone, all became flex, and then they use photographs. But at that point of time, then they used to paint. So that's the only option we used to have. Or we used to do designs for the t-shirts. So the choices are very, very few actually. So luckily, when I finished my graduation, that's where the 3D started coming in. Yeah, so everybody talking about multimedia courses. There are institutions like Arena Multimedia. They started teaching 3D and stuff. So then in my interest deviated towards 3D. Yeah, so that time it's so difficult to get a such kind of training. Even though you know the tools, you might not know how to create models or anything. It's very, very difficult actually. The tools are really not very friendly. But still, people used to do really great stuff at that kind of time. So I got a chance to learn under some of the people already in the industry. So I learned modeling, 3D modeling from there. Since I'm from painting background, and our alternate subject is sculpting, so I have a decent knowledge about 3D traditional sculpting. That helped me to pick up 3D a little faster. And then yeah, so far the journey is so good. I worked in studios like DreamWorks Animation for almost 8 years. Before that, Disney used to be our client. For them, I worked for 5 years. So working with those big studios, we learned a lot of great stuff from those people actually. So that's why we were able to come up with a good combination of what you do in a traditional medium, same time what kind of thing people use in animation industry. So we try to combine both and give us a complete curriculum to the artists.
So you said you worked for DreamWorks Animation, right? So which are all the movies you have worked on?
Yeah, so in DreamWorks Animation, the last movie which we worked is Trolls. So I was worked on that movie as a lead modeling artist. I used to handle the team, from India. Almost more than 60% of work happened in India. So I was handling the India unit. Before that, I worked on Penguins of Madagascar, a little bit in Boss Baby, and Madagascar 3. a lot of projects used to happen, like, Croods 2, 3, Croods 2 used to happen, and then Dragon 3. For these movies, as HOD, I used to, oversee all those projects. I didn't work on it, but I, see how things are going in those shows. That's where a lot of learning, because you're working with really high profile people from the industry. That's where you learn a lot of stuff, because they demand really, really high quality work. So you have to keep raising your bar higher.
So you said you have worked in all big movies. So what made you to come back to teaching again? Like if you are in field, the animation field right now, you would have gotten like very big payment package and everything. So leaving all those things, why did you come back to teaching?
That's a very good and tough question, actually. Yes, so money can't buy everything. End of the day, yeah, we need money to pay our bills. The main reason when you grow a lot towards management, you become less of an artist and more of a manager, which I didn't enjoy much. So I want to be more as an artist, engaging with artists. So that way, so I thought, okay, I should take a change in my path. So then I got into studio to do teaching for modeling, texturing, and then art. Teaching I always love to do the most, actually. It's not necessarily suddenly we chose. So because, as I mentioned earlier, somebody else helped me to learn all these things. So that's how I'm here. So same way, I thought we have to help someone to get better in the life. So always we used to have someone, even when we were in bachelor, someone used to live with us to do some learning, actually, whether it's 3D modeling or art, whatever. Always somebody used to be there with us to learn something new. Probably they could be financially underprivileged. So we used to help them to learn. And now those guys became good artists. So that always were there as now to become a teacher. So that's how I started my journey as a teacher. I really enjoyed doing it. So that's how we started the school. So because we learned so much of stuff from Indian artists, in the schools, and same time from international artists, we learned a lot of stuff. So we thought, how can we impart this knowledge to the next generation artists? So that's how we have started. Yeah, it's just going really good. I enjoy my life more. Still, I didn't left the industry, but still, we have a small studio in Bangalore, so where we used to work for some international projects and some domestic projects. Still, I'm in a part of the industry. Yeah, facing a lot of challenge managing both. The answer is, yeah, what you love the most and try to do that. Even though I'm in the artist industry, so within that there's so much of diversities, right? You can become a 3D artist, you can become a modeling, texturing, animator, a lot of stuff. So I personally love more art and education. So I chose this path. Others have any questions? Any more join Kusma after that? So we can sleep slowly, adding more values, getting to see more shapes and forms better.
Since lockdown is very hot topic right now, so last year, how did you manage to take class? Was it successful?
I would say yes to some extent, because I'm kind of like, not enjoying online so much, because I need the connection with the people actually. Sit with them, see them, how do they draw, and then correct their drawings, and having in class. That's what I used to enjoy the most. So we never had a plan to do online, but unfortunately, the lockdown was like so hard, and none of us expect this will happen to us. So we have to adjust according to situation. So that's how we started doing some online classes on art. 3D we couldn't do much. It's because the students needed some high-end configuration machines. So we dropped 3D, but we did a lot of art classes. That was pretty successful. I was very happy with the result, what students has produced. Yeah. Still, they were very sincere. They used to do assignments. They used to give lots of assignments. They used to work on it, and then the shows for the next day for the feedback. Yeah. Probably if another lockdown comes, yeah, we prepared for another set of online classes.
Because most of the online classes aren't successful. The students are they become bored sometimes, and they won't have much attention on the class. So, did you face anything like that?
That's there because not only students, even people working from home also they're going through same tough situations actually. Because when you're in a classroom with like many other artists, the energy level is different actually. Yeah, you see others how they're drawing it. You get a lot of motivation drawing with them. But at home, you might not have the same comfort room. You might not have a dedicated room by yourself, like sit and draw. Or there might be constantly some disturbance might happen in your house. There's a lot of motivation problem people used to go through. And that's there actually, but some students are like very desperate, wants to learn and grow. So no matter what, they work really, really hard. So that's how we have to see things. We have to see things. How can you change your life, no matter what happens? Yeah, don't give an excuse that okay, oh lockdown, okay, let me chill out. No, which means you're fooling yourself. You're wasting your life. You're wasting simply like now students says lockdown, I didn't do anything. Almost this is your loss. 1 year you're lost actually. If 1 year would have practice, you would have been hired by a company now. Many companies hiring. After lockdown, the animation industry really growing well because of everyone at home, a lot of content required, a lot of projects are there. So yeah, if you would have worked in lockdown, you would have get a job right now. If you're taking excuse of lockdown, then yeah, sit another 1 year at home, work hard. You're giving excuses easy. Sitting and watching TV is easy. Sitting and playing games is easy. Sitting and drawing is not easy. Sitting and watching drawing is not also easy. Yeah.
So, how do you make sure that they are practicing? Is there any session after the class for practice?
So yeah, we used to like arrange practice sessions. Yeah, so they have to like gather and then do a group practice, right? When you ask you to do practice, yeah, you'll do like own comfort zone, and then you might not fully 1 hour practice means you might not work for 1 hour. You just work for 30 minutes. You might feel, oh, okay, cool, I did enough. Let me go and relax, right? So, but when you're working in group practice, there is some motivation. A lot of people gonna come as a community build, so you take it more serious. That we used to do. And then we used to do like a lot of assignments. We used to give hundreds of assignments, not like 1 or 2, because you have 24 hours. Even if you spend another around 10 hours for different stuff, still you have 14 hours to work. So yeah, we give this much of that much of assignments. We used to work really, really hard on assignments.
I guess student did a 100 portrait challenge, right?
Yeah,
So,
I'm not sure whether they finished or not. Yeah, they done enough of challenge. Yeah, 100 portrait challenge. Because even after doing 100 portraits, it won't be enough. We should do thousands of portraits to become a better artist. Yeah, we should do a lot of challenges. Any questions you guys have, please ask or post in the chat window. If you have any language barrier, so let me know which language you speak. We try to answer in that language. Because what we hear the inquiry, most of them having language barrier. You can see the really darkest place. We'll take another 30 minutes. Now, 15 minutes will take. We'll wrap up. So if you guys have any questions, please.
Sir, I don't have any questions. Can you just do me a favor? Can you just show me your works? Your 2D works are really amazing. I'm just excited for your 3D works.
Okay, you want to see my 3D works or 2D works?
3D.
3D works, okay. Sure. So toward the end of the session, I'll show some of 3D works.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure, sure.
Sir, when is our next session, sir?
Sorry?
Next session.
Next is assistant.
At what are we having any time schedule or
The next session,
yes sir, when sir?
that will let you know. So based on the topic, we can choose. Do you guys want us to cover any topic to cover? So we can cover the topic.
Okay sir.
If you let me know, yeah, definitely we are going to do more. At least weekly once we're going to have sessions actually. Like this, we'll plan.
Okay sir.
So different type of art.
We'll have some 3D sessions.
We'll have some 3D session also. That will be interesting.
Zebra sculpting.
Yeah, a quick zebra sculpting. So same way, I think that will be more appropriate actually. So probably, yeah, we'll discuss. I mean, we'll decide now only. The next will be a zebra sculpt session actually. Yeah, a zebra portrait. We'll do the next session actually. So that's pretty much same thing we're gonna follow there. We're gonna talk about same anatomy and stuff. So right there, like more than light and shadows, we talk more about shapes and forms. Probably a little bit of tools. How does the tools works? Yeah. Yeah, like doing a lot of stuff, your hand become more stronger. So more you like draw portrait like this, your hand become more stronger, and side by side you have learn the knowledge of like anatomy, and other stuff that help you to become a better artist. A lot of things like talk and cover. Unfortunately, I cannot cover a lot of stuff in a demo. So probably Kusuma might get in touch with you, our education coordinator. So she'll get in touch with you guys to talk about the courses, what all we teach here, and probably she might show some of you guys the students' work. So that will give an insight, like how things been transformed. That's the main thing we would like to show you. Yeah, some students' work. Some of them really surprised us after coming here, because this art is already inside you. You just need a proper guidance to take you to the next level. So probably we'll stop here. Let's just do some lights. Yeah, most important, knowing the lighting shading. That's actually going to give you 3D feel to your stuff. Some highlights here and there. Apply. And we're done.
So in Instagram and all, we see artists trying super realistic. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so you see like real amazing people, and then you kind of, oh my god, how do they do it? When I'm going to do it? It's not that like they are 1 or 2 years they practice and then get that. No, so they work for, I would say, like more than like looking at their work, find the artist who has done the work and see if you can find any interview of him anywhere. So then you'll come to know how much tough time they've gone through in their life to become such a successful artist, actually. So there's so much years of practice. The learning only take you there, actually. Yeah. So all you need to. That's what I do like most of the time. I listen to the interviews, like how much the struggle to become an artist, because it's not that easy to to reach such position. A lot of hard work required. It's only practice, nothing else. Just looking at like Instagram posts or YouTube tutorials not going to make you an artist unless until you take a pencil and then draw. And nobody can take it next level, because they are like so desperate to become an artist or to work on a particular type of projects or studio. Yeah, always you should keep our aim in that really high level. I want to work for this studio, I want to work for this project, I want to like work like this person. So that fire should be there inside you to get there. And then work on it every single day, work towards it. Dedicate yourself. Okay, I should do this many portraits by this much of time. Have that high standard, towards your work. You'll get there. Don't look at your neighbor artist. I'm doing better than him. That's not going to take you anywhere.
Sometimes we get demotivated too. Can I reach there?
Yeah, don't have self-doubt.
Yeah.
Don't have the self-doubt. I've seen some of the artists I see, it's like my highest inspiration. I saw their early days of work. That's very pathetic. Such a bad drawing or sculpting they used to do in the initial of their career. But if you see right now, they're the top of the world. But if you see, it must have taken 10 years to get there. Yeah, that's how it starts. Don't lose hope. Can I do that? No, you can. It doesn't matter you have to born in US or UK or Europe somewhere to become an artist. No, of course they have better facilities. There are a lot of good colleges are there. So that's is there, I understand, but same time, nothing's stopping you right now. Yeah, right now you get to see through social media any artist work, right? So it doesn't matter. Only thing, you set your standard really high and keep work on it. It doesn't really matter which place you come from, which community you're born. Yeah, so we keep drawing till evening. So we have to stop at some point.
Can you show some examples?
Yeah, sure. That's quickly. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I could do in a given time. Yeah, generally these kind of portraits I used to take 3 days actually. Yeah, any good artist to get into this level, it need a lot of time. It's a traditional medium actually. Traditional medium is going to take a lot of time. This is because of digital. I'm able to do a lot of things, a lot of shortcuts, a lot of tools help me to take things more faster. Yeah. Yeah. Let's stop here to show my work. Honestly, I don't have much work to showcase in 3D because I gone into leadership level, so we don't get much time to work on.
You can show some of our students.
Yeah, we can show you some of the students' work. I'll show you. So, just a minute, guess it's slightly slow. And some of stuff I cannot show because we don't have the projects. We cannot put them on social media. These are more like just 1 hour sculpt. We just take how I did the portrait. Similarly, a quick sculpt, in ZBrush. This is just study of. It's kind of like a fan art of the boy from Big Hero 6, Hero Kamada. Just to see, are we able to do model like that? This is fun. We started. Yeah, that's output from there. This one of the character which I designed myself and then worked on it and create a lot of facial expressions to him to give an attitude to him. Yeah. Very old sculpts. I should look at a sketch like this and then do a sculpt. These must be at least 10 years old, I think. And 3D portraits. More portraits, unfinished. My first ZBrush sculpt.
This one.
Yeah. First sculpt actually. These are all just 1 hour challenges actually. So while working on Penguins of Madagascar movie, they send me to US for training. So their artists every lunchtime they gather and then they do the challenge 1 hour sculpt. So 1 hour, how much you can finish? That's it. You should stop. So that's how I started all these things. These are all 1 hour. Quickly take a sphere and do push and pull. Just sculpt them. Yeah. So I should do my just one sketch and then is to sculpt them. It's mostly to get more experience, in ZBrush, just hand make more stronger. Some unfinished sculpts. Yeah, same. Really, some quick sculpts whenever you get time. So based on my sketch. I think that's pretty much I have in 3D. So there's one more. And the quick sculpt based on my sketch. So just all a lot of 2D stuff, character design, portraits, some sort of caricatures. As artists, you should try everything, not like stick only to one style. Any student's name? This one of a student. Yeah. This is all this stuff. Okay, got it. Stuff from here. Yeah, he came here, he learned thoroughly the anatomy, body proportions, the modeling techniques in Maya and ZBrush, and then he modeled it. Some robotic stuff. And props, modeling, and texturing. Some organic prop modeling. To understand how to model a rock, how to model a hood, how to understand design philosophy, all those things. This is a kind of a quick challenge here we have done during Halloween time. A pure ZBrush sculpt. Sort of vehicle modeling. These are all expressions study. Yeah. DAN. Yeah. A stylized character in Maya. Some of the sketches. Some organic type models. Some stylized vehicle models. Yeah. Okay. Some stylized characters. These are wireframes of those characters. Yeah, we focus mostly on character models. That's our strength. We train people in character modeling. We teach them thorough anatomy. Some of our big sculpts, stylized sculpts. This is one of my favorite sculpt. Yeah, sketches. Your students, they do everything. Everybody do sketching. They're really good at it. Some practice on skulls.
It's like very basic.
Basic, yeah. If you ask now, you'll find a lot of corrections there. Yeah, some hard surface modeling, vehicle modeling. Some stylized props. They create their own mood board. So I frame gray and color lavender. Like this, a lot of stuff. Yeah, we'll keep doing more stuff in every session. So please share your feedback on the session. Window Instagram and let us know what do you want to do for the future. Any next is confirmed a 3D sculpt portrait. Cool. Thank you guys.